it's alright, we're gonna be fine. But let's give my mama and my daddy a little time, 'cause I've been good up till now. They see you and they think that I have changed somehow, but I'm not being radical when I kiss you. I don't love you to make a point. It's the hollow of my heart that cries when I miss you, and it keeps me alive when we're apart.
Hey transcribers, my name is Crystal and I am the newest addition to the Transcribers channel. So hello! I decided to keep the video kind of short, that I'm not going to do an intro on this one, so if you'd like to know more about me, just go ahead and check out my personal channel. I wanted to get straight into the topic for the week, which is first reactions, which for us is a pretty humorous story. Let's see, when and how did you find out about your partner's trans identity? Ren and I worked together for about 10 months, and we got to be good friends, and we would go out to the bar after work to have a couple of drinks, kind of wind down a little bit, and I got several hints of what he might possibly, maybe, had been kind of thinking about in the future, you know, many, many years from now, possibly, maybe, might want to do this. So I got those kind of hints. Then earlier this year, for his English class, he had to do a research paper. It was open topic, and he chose transgender as his topic. He decided that that would be one that would keep him interested, for one, and he wanted to do the research again and see what new stuff had come available. So he went with that topic. We won't talk about how many papers he trashed because he got bored. Were you with your partner before he was out as trans? For a few months, I was. But that was about it, just a few months, and then the hints became more frequent. How and when did he tell you? Ren has actually never said, I'm trans, to me. He's never come out to me that way. He's danced. He has danced around it. Awesome dancer, my honey is, when it comes to dancing around the topic. He's real good. I've heard him come out to other people, but never to me with those words. I've just gotten the massive hints. How did you feel and react? To be perfectly honest with you, my reaction was a big and it was definitely not a surprise. It was one that I was halfway expecting. Ren has never given off the girl vibe. It's always been one of the guys. When we were at work, I had to work real hard at remembering to use female pronouns before he came out. Somebody would need something at work, a tool or something, they'd come up and ask me. If I didn't have it and I knew Ren did, I'd say, go see Lauren, she has what you need. It was very hard for me when he came out to flip-flop, because I'd trained myself to use the female pronouns and then flipped. He came out to a coworker of ours, and her response was, damn it! I just got used to the female pronouns and now you're going to make me switch it. Another friend of his, when he came out to her, was, oh, thank God, you've caught up with the rest of us. Thanks. He came out to one of his cousins, and his reaction was, I must say, a typical male reaction, which was, is your dick going to be bigger than mine? And wanted to make sure he was keeping the family name. But that was about it for our reaction. Did his coming out make you question your sexual orientation or gender identity in any way? No. It didn't. I've always, if I have to label myself, I'd label it as bi. There's the scale that, you know, you have the straight on one end and the gay on the other end. I've always leaned more towards the lesbian end, but I'm a happy bi person. With Ren, I've always said, since day one, I get the best of both worlds. So no, I never questioned my orientation or identity in any way. What advice do you have for people who have recently learned of the partner or family member's trans identity? Okay, this one may irritate some people, but I have two pieces of advice. The first one, Communicate. It's the biggest thing. I know face-to-face communication can be hard. You're dealing with very, very intense feelings. So I know that face-to-face is hard. So what I would recommend is write it down. The best part about that is when you write it down, you can go through it again, you can delete or you can erase what you've changed your mind about, or what you decide is maybe not so harsh. But when you're reading through it again, what you really need to think about is, are you responding to the issue or are you reacting to the issue? If you're reacting with all of the hurt, all of the anger, all of the grief that you're going through. And in any kind of an argument with anyone you're having, you do not want to react. You want to respond. You want to use your head and you want to respond to the situation, not react. So that is the biggest thing I can advise anyone, is communicate and respond. Do not react. I've had my mom read through stuff for me when I've had to get something off my chest to someone and say, okay, tell me, am I responding or reacting, because I've got to get this said. The next one is, when you are talking to someone, even if you're sitting face-to-face and you're holding the paper and you're reading it, that whatever works for you. But when it comes time for the other person to speak, be sure that you listen to what they're saying. And I don't just mean the words. They may say one thing but mean something else. And we've all had experience with this. You know, your girlfriend comes home and she's bitching because you didn't take out the trash. Okay, granted, she may be a little bit pissy because the trash didn't get taken out, but that's not what really is upsetting her. We've all had that experience. So just keep that in mind whenever you are communicating with your family member or your partner or whoever, that you've got to listen to what they really mean. Ask questions. Communicate the best that you can. Stay calm. Whoever you're speaking to is going to feed off whatever vibe you're giving off. If you're giving off the anxious, anger, hurt, that's what they're going to feed off of. If you're giving off the calm, that's what they're going to give. Hopefully, anyway. I think that's it for part 1. My daughter saw Toy's video and that she had her son in it, and my daughter wants to do it. And Chase's response with his son in it, which was awesome. Both of those hilarious. Attraction to the bananas. So my daughter wants to do part of the video with me, so I'm going to get her and possibly my son if we can pull him out of the book coma. So stay tuned for part 2, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!
Hi, my name is Raimi, and I'm 14. My mom is Crystal, and these are my answers for some of the questions.
When and how did you find out about Ren's transition?
When I found out, it was a little before Christmas, before my mom and I started having that talk, and I felt, okay.
Did you know Ren before he was out?
Yes.
How did you react or feel when you found out?
I reacted pretty normal. I was okay with it, and he seemed pretty normal. I didn't really care. His body.
Is that it? Did his coming out make you question your sexual orientation or gender identity in any way?
No. Don't laugh at me because I'm blushing.
What advice do you have for people who have recently learned of their partner or family member's trans identity?
My advice would be just go with the flow. Be accepting, and don't change your loveism because their outside changes, because now their outside's going to change their inside. Just be very accepting of who they are and still love them, and be very supportive.